Shy Bro.
Hey.
Father James, Deacon Hank.
Hey.
Yo, bro, you lift?
Bro.
No Woman, No Cry. One of my favorite Bob Marley. Are you a Bob Marley fan?
Yep.
So am I.
Good.
And this is currently learning this song on the guitar.
Hey, it's coming along.
I like enjoying this song. I always call this the celibate Catholic priest's anthem.
Wow, I feel like there's a lot to unpack there.
No woman, no cry. But I really like this song also for Mary. So I want to talk about Mary.
Nice.
I want to talk about empathy, crying emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Empathy, someone defines as entering into another person's feelings. And how when we are empathetic, we manifest the kingdom of God. We ourselves are fulfilled. We help people around us. And so to be empathetic, Mary helps us. The relationship to Mary will allow us to cry. So woman, cry. Just like Marley saying, no woman, no cry. The more we pray with Mary, the more we read about her, talk to her, the more empathetic we become, and the better disciples of Jesus we are.
Sweet.
So, empathy. Would you say, Deacon Hank? I could ask anything right now.
Pressure.
Would you say you're empathetic?
Yes.
I think you are.
It's interesting.
How would you, if I were to say, define empathy, or tell me, describe empathy? Like, hey, that's a person that really...
He's empathetic. I think it begins with someone who listens, is willing to listen to another person, and listening is not just hearing the other person talk, but being led through what they're saying. So kind of put anything else in my mind in the background and just put them in front of me.
Yeah, so empathy is great to break narcissism and selfishness. So there's some tragedy or suffering, something happens. It's easy to be like, ooh, how does this affect me? What am I going to lose from this? Or that, you get in a fight with your spouse or whatever. What does this mean for me? Or I don't like this feeling. Why is my spouse being so ridiculous right now? Whereas empathy says, nope, forget about yourself. How are they feeling right now? They're sad. They're hurt. And to put your heart into their heart, and all of a sudden that breaks the selfishness. It gives you a lot of freedom, and then you can really begin to pray for that person.
Sure. St. Edith Stein wrote a huge dissertation on empathy and connecting it with phenomenology. So a branch of philosophy that likes to understand a phenomenon, something that's common to human existence, but to kind of break it down. And she talks about empathy as being led into the other person's soul. So in that, you have to let go of your own ego, be willing to enter in with that person, and the more you know about what they're going through, the more you can love them, because love is dependent on knowledge. Like, I can't love something if I don't know it.
It's very good. I shouldn't say I think I've grown in empathy. I don't know I have, but I know I've been praying for it.
Nice.
And I know it's something in my own priesthood as I've gone along in my priesthood. At first, I think it's just being young, kind of immature. It's, again, the spotlight you always feels on you. What do I need, and how am I going to get this done, and so forth. Whereas you get older, parents, when you have children, I think you become more empathetic. When a priest becomes maybe a pastor, or he has more experiences out in the field, thinking a lot less about yourself and trying to really put your heart into, like you said, what Edith Stein said. I think I've grown in empathy over these last few years as a priest.
I can imagine it's
more to do.
Sure, always. It's the school of love.
You can testify firsthand to that. I'm not empathetic on the pickleball court.
That's right. It's all right. I'm learning from that as well. I think going along with growing in empathy, like you were saying, becoming a pastor, or when you maybe have your third child or something, there's some things that you've already kind of established. Like, I know how the parish should be running relatively smoothly. I know how to keep a household going. Those things don't concern me as much. So therefore, I can kind of put that on the back burner and really just invest in my kids or in the people.
We all need a feminine touch in our life, especially men, but women as well. And so when you or have a wife or a sister or a mother that you can talk to, or the Blessed Mother, of course, that makes you more empathetic. Okay, without a woman, you just kind of bullhead your way through a situation, or you begin to presume you know what's best, and become a little insular. And so when we pray with Mary, she really helps us see how other people are, what they're experiencing, and
Yeah, I go back to the wedding feast at Cana. At that point in Mary's life, she understood that she had to protect and look over her son Jesus because of his divinity being the Messiah and everything. But she kind of understood more, I would say, at that point of just what it is for him to be the Messiah and for him to become a man, and he's good on his own. Therefore, she was willing to let her son be exposed as the Messiah in this way. So she kind of put that on the back burner and put the bride's needs before her own. And I think that's a natural charism that comes with womanhood, is to see the person before themselves and to care about what's going on in that person's soul and be attentive to it.
one last thing. Okay, so no woman, no cry. It's good to cry. Okay, it's good to have emotion. It's good to feel pain and to let that hurt be expressed in tears. You don't have to force the tears, but without Mary, we don't cry. Now, Deacon Hank, let's end with tough on you.
With that
When's the
saying,
last
right?
time you cried, Deacon Hank?
Actually, in reference to an earlier podcast, it was at my buddy's first mass. Seeing him at the altar, and he was saying the words of consecration. I got a little teary-eyed there, and then I definitely was starting to become emotional when he was presenting to his dad the stole, and even his dad began to cry too.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, friends, hopefully you can cry and pray with Mary, and she'll help you cry and experience life to the fullest. God bless you.
Peace.